Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Qubators Knowledge Sharing Session. It's so good to have you all here. My name is Oluwakemi, and I am the Global Community Manager at Qubators Network. It's a pleasure and it's so wonderful to have every one of you joining us today from different parts of the world. So whether this is your first knowledge sharing session or whether you've been with us before, I just want to thank you for making time to be here. And at Cubators, we believe that knowledge grows when it's shared. That's why every week we bring in experienced professionals to share practical insights that will help builders, creators, innovators, and entrepreneurs grow. So today's session is one you definitely don't want to miss. And I hope you're ready with your notepad, with your pen, because our facilitator is here and is going to be dishing out a lot of points that you definitely don't want to miss and to take home. So before we begin, few quick reminders. If you are joining us live, please just drop in the comment section. Let us know where you're joining us from. And throughout the session, as our facilitator is going to be dropping points, feel free to drop questions in the chat. We will reserve some time at the end of the KSS. We're going to be having a live question and answer with the speaker. And also, if you find today's session very valuable, please don't forget to share the live stream with your network so that others can also benefit. Thank you very much once again for joining. So we won't be taking too much of our time. Today's topic is the frictionless products, US design principles for high retention apps. And I think one question every product builder should ask is this: why do some products become part of our daily lives while others are forgotten after just one use? Is it the features? Is it the technology? Or is it something much more deeper? So that's why today we're going to be exploring the principles behind products that users don't just try, but continue to use and then they recommend to other people. And who better than to guide us through this conversation today than our speaker today, Temitope Aiyegbusi. I'm very excited to welcome Temitope today, this afternoon. So I'm just going to be brief about reading his bio because Temitope has done really great things. So let's just go right into it. Temitope is an accomplished product designer with extensive experience designing prop tech industries. And over the course of his career, he has contributed to products that have achieved remarkable business outcomes, which includes driving over 200% revenue growth, supporting expansion into 13 new markets. Amazing, right? He has also helped to secure more than $300,000 in funding. I hope you are dropping your amazing claps in the comments. And Temitope passion lies just not in creating products that are only beautiful, but products that are very intuitive, accessible, and very capable of delivering exceptional user experiences. So today, Temitope is going to be sharing practical insights on how to build products people trust, that people love, and people keep coming back to. So with a virtual clap with so many virtual claps, please join me in welcoming Temitope Aiyegbusi. Temitope, we are very honored to have you with us. The stage is yours. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you so much, Oluwakem. Thank you for the introduction. I feel honored. And thank you so much for inviting me here and for giving me the opportunity to share my experience with the team and then with the community as well. So thank you so much. So today, can I have my slide up now? Yeah, thank you so much. So today I'm going to be talking about designing for the AI era, for the artificial intelligence era, building frictionless products that people trust, love, and use. Let's move forward. So in today's agenda, we are going to be talking about, I'm going to like do a little bit of introduction about myself, just like um, Oluwakemi has done, walking you through, no, not this slide, the first slide, the second slide after the introduction. Are you there? Not this slide. After the, yeah, exactly, yeah, the agenda slide, yes. Just walk with me. So after introduction, I am going to be talking about AI as an enabler and not a threat. And I'll move on to AI as an edge in building trust and in building products and applications that users love, trust, and basically use. And then we'll move on to, execution is cheap. So what is next? AI has basically made execution very, very cheap. So, what is next after execution or after making execution very, very cheap? And then I'm going to walk you through the CARE framework. It's a framework that is used or that I would advise to imbibe when you're building products and when I have time for question and answers. So let's dive into it. So a little bit about me, just like, no, not this, before this. Yeah, a little bit about me. Just like Oluwakemi said, I have experience in fintech, AI, and SaaS. I have over 4 years of experience as a designer and as a design engineer. And I had a BSc in accounting, University of Lagos, particularly specifically. And yeah, just a little bit about me so that you guys would have an idea of who you are speaking with. Let's move on. All right. So AI, artificial intelligence, as an enabler and not a threat. Let us understand these two statements, right? The first statement is AI has raised the floor of execution, which means that execution is no longer your unique advantage. Your judgment is. Because of how cheap and how easy and how AI has made things really, really available, or has made things very, very easy. Execution is no longer what sets you apart. It is your judgment. Second statement is AI has made execution cheap. That determining what to build that we gain users trust is the most important thing. And because AI has basically made execution very, very cheap, the most important thing now is your judgment, and then the most important thing after your judgment is having to select what is the most important thing, having to select what's the most important thing that we can design, or what's the most important product or feature that we can build that would allow us gain users more trust, or what can we remove or add from a product that can make users love a particular product or use a particular product, right? So all that thoughts, right? So let's move into the next slide. AI is your edge in building trust. So there are various things that AI basically allows you to do. The first thing is that AI gives you speed. I don't know if any one of us here, I'm sure you guys know about Open AI, about Anthropic, and all of these companies building AI models, right? For example, for Anthropic or for Claude, they're called Claude. The parent company Anthropic called Claude. For Claude, the speed at which they were basically creating new features, right? It was really amazing, and that was because of the AI, the access to AI that they had, right? So one thing that AI gives you is that it gives you speed. Another thing that it gives you is the ability to test multiple times before launching. The advent of AI, before we understood AI, or before AI became very, very powerful, we didn't have access to testing product or to testing features. All we could do was to just design the products, have a little bit of people, have like a number of people, a very few number of people uh, to test the product before going live. But right now, because of the AI models and because of the data that these AI models have, you can basically stress test anything that you're trying to do before you launch. And that's one thing that AI gives you. It gives the ability to stress test and test multiple times before you launch, right? And as a result of you testing, and then you basically, when you test, you basically see, you see some things that you don't know, that you never thought about, or some edge cases, or some error state, or some empty state, or some things that you never can tell that would be in that product, or that will be in that particular feature, some issues that you would that you'd see in that feature. And it's as a result of you testing multiple times, right, that you would uh, see these things. We've had companies work on a feature pre-AI, before AI, and then as a result of probably like a vulnerability or something, or an issue with the feature, an issue, and then they roll back that particular feature, right? And it basically dents the trust that the users have on that product. Because why are you giving me something, or as like a fintech, for example, you're working in fintech, and then you roll out a feature, and then it is exposing the product to a lot of vulnerabilities, exposing the product to a lot of hackers, those kind of things, right? Because of the advent of AI, it has made you stress testing, you basically making sure that, oh, this particular feature is airtight, right? And that also leads me to my third point, which is AI gives you the ability to design for edge cases, and for error states, and for empty states. Edge cases basically means some cases that you wouldn't have thought about, except users start to use the product, or people start to interact with the product, and you now start to see, oh, we did not design for this particular use case, or we did not see this use case as being viable, or we didn't even think about this use case. And as a result of AI, or as a result of you using AI, right, it basically allows you, or gives you that ability to design for, for all of these edge cases, for this error state and for this empty state, right? So all of these things basically allows you to gain more trust in users, right? And when you gain more trust in users, they tend to want to use your product very, very more. Let me give you an example, a very, very visible example of what we use day to day is OP. I can tell you for a fact that probably 2-3 years ago, people did not really like using OP. They thought, oh, it was not a bank that was cool enough, right? It was not a bank that was nice enough. It was probably for little bit of transactions. But at a point when people needed them the most, it was the point or the time of cash, of naira scarcity, right? During the election, the last Tinubu's regime, when Buhari was leaving his regime, and then Tinubu's regime, when there was naira scarcity, right? It was OP that came to the rescue, and they were able to, because of that, they had built a very solid, foundation, right? They were able to capitalize on that particular opportunity. Let me call it an opportunity, and from that period, going forward till now, years later, 2-3 years later, people trust OP, right? If you can gain the trust of traders, if you can gain the trust of artisans to use your product, trust me, you've done very, very well. And it is as a result of the fact that they were able to design a product that solved for edge cases. Oh, what happens when there's this thing that OP does when you want to transfer to a particular person or their bank has issues. It tells you, oh, 80% about that edge case, right? Or is it like the face verification feature when you want to send money, and then it tells you, oh, you're sending a large amount of money, open your mouth, and those kind of things, right? Is that as a result of AI that allow them to think ahead of all of these issues, right? So these are the things that AI basically gives you. Let's move on to the next slide. So I said that execution is cheap, right? What is next? Because of the fact that AI has made execution cheap, what do we have next, or what is next? I wrote here that execution is now cheap. What is next? How can we build products that users trust, love, and use now, right? The first thing that we need to talk about is judgment. Is your judgment. As a designer or as a creative person, there's this gut feeling that you have, right? There's this feeling that you just know that something is right, or you know that something is wrong, or you know that something is off. Sometimes you might not be able to place or put a particular finger at it, or say, this is what is particularly wrong. But because of your gut feeling, or because of years and years of experience, you can know that, oh, something is wrong. The second thing is taste and craft. This is one of my I really love this particular topic, or this particular topic, taste and craft, because of the fact that AI has made execution very, very easy. There's just a lot of people, there's just like a lot of rinse and wash, designs, rinse and wash applications that look alike, right? There's no taste, there's no craft, there's no craftsmanship that's been put into a particular design, right? And problem framing. Let's move to gut feeling or judgment. So judgment is what you use when data runs out. Let's move. I said that judgment is what you use when data runs out. AI can give you 20 options, right? But it cannot tell you which one is right for this company. Or for these users, or in this moment, with not so much runway, right? Judgment is that feeling that, like I said, judgment is that gut feeling, or that feeling that you know that, oh, something is right or something is wrong, or something is missing. And it's as a result of the fact that that you have years and years of experience, or you have refined your skill, right? I said here that it is making good decisions with incomplete information and real consequences, right? Judgment is the ability for you to make decisions, make very, very good decisions, not just decisions, make very, very good decisions with incomplete data, incomplete information, and then you are certain that, you're certain that um, the result is going to be favorable for the company, or it's going to be favorable for the product, right? I also said here that it is, not knowing the right answer, but knowing the right trade-off. I also said that, every design decision costs something. Judgment is knowing what you're paying, right? When you're designing a particular feature, or when a user requests a particular feature, um, judgment is knowing that, oh, if we're designing this particular feature, this is the trade-off. This is what we are, going to be paying for. Do you understand me? So, that's judgment, that gut feeling that you have, and the cost to do, right? That's basically judgment. Okay, we're not doing this. This is basically what we are focusing on at this moment, or this is what we are going with at this moment. That's basically judgment. Let's also move to taste and craft. So, like I said, this is like one of my most important. So I really like this topic, right? Taste and craft. Taste the ability to see good designs, acknowledge good designs, and then make good designs, right? I also say that craft is the last 5%, the detail that nobody asks for and that everybody feels, right? Have you seen a particular product that is well designed, or some little details are well designed? When you think about this, when you think about these little interactions that you see on some designs, or a particular shadow or a particular animation that you see on the design, and then you see how beautiful it was designed, or how much time has been put on a particular design, right? You know that if this particular time has been put on the design, I am very sure and certain that I can trust this particular product because of the amount of time that's been put on the design. Do you understand? And that's one thing I want us to, also take away from this particular session. When when you spend a lot of time in a particular feature or in a particular interface or something, right? You might not know, but users can actually tell. They can actually feel that, oh, this particular product is premium, or this feature or this particular interface is premium, right? And they instantly trust it. I don't know if you've seen some website that is purely designed, or some website that it's, or some application that is done in a rush, or not so much design or thought process is put. You immediately suspect that particular application, right? Or you don't always trust that particular application totally, and that's because a lot of time has not been put into place. And as a designer, that's one thing I want you to also take note, that you build trust, or users love your product as a result of you actually dedicating time in refining the product. Design is never finished, right? An interface is never finished. If you give 10 designers a particular interface for them to design it, right? They'll design it 10 different ways. And that's because design is subjective, and design is never finished. So you keep on improving, you keep on iterating, you keep on, making sure that, oh, are we passing the right message across to users? Are users able to perform a task in the shortest possible time, right? So it's very important for you to think about taste, and think about craft. I said here that compressed taste is basically compressed experience. Thousands of small decisions collapsed into instinct. I said here taste is knowing what is right, and craft is the discipline to actually get there. Right? Users can articulate craft, but they read it as care. When I was explaining earlier, I was telling you that users, you might not know, but users feel when a particular interface is designed very, very well. Like, has been designed with a lot of thought process, with a lot of intentionality. it's a lot of empathy, right? Care is a trust signal. You taking so much time to design a particular product, to spend your time in designing a particular product, it is a trust signal, right? And in the end, users will definitely trust your product. They will love your product, and they will use your product, right? I said here that care is a trust signal. If you sweated this, you would probably sweat the other parts that I can't see. Like if users see that, oh, they actually spend a lot of time on this particular feature or on this particular care about the other things. Do you understand me? So let's move. How can you improve or build good taste? I wrote here that you can build good taste by consuming deliberately, right? What do you consume? What are the designs that you consume on a daily basis? Who are the designers that you get exposed to? Where is the source of inspiration, right? I also said that it's important for you to build a reference library, a vocabulary test you can't name, but you can't apply, right? So take screenshots. If you see a design that you like, take a screenshot, have it probably on your phone or put it on a Figma file. You can go back to when you need inspiration, or have it on your phone, right? Or save it somewhere probably on you use Twitter, save it as a bookmark, or those kind of things, right? Another thing you can use to improve your taste is critiquing out loud, and critiquing out loud with people that are better than you, right? That's one thing I've experienced. That's like one thing that I've noticed lately. When you work with designers that are above your level, right? Designers that are better than you, you tend to gain from the experience, or you tend to gain from the experience, or you tend to gain from them, right? Or they tend to pass knowledge on to you, right? Another thing is practicing subtraction, right? Instead of adding more things, think about how can I design an interface that says so much but shows so little, right? How can I design an interface that passes the right message across in the smallest possible element, or in the smallest possible way? You see a design, and then you see that so many things are there, that it doesn't pass the message across, or you have to, there's something they call a scan test. In probably like 2, 3, 4 seconds, I should be able to scan it exactly it is that you're trying to do, or what message they're trying to pass across. And lastly, it's very important for you to develop opinions and to defend them, right? I always say this about design is that first off, you know the rule. Because you know the rule, you now know how to break them, right? If you're not aware of, oh, you're breaking a particular rule, you won't know that you're breaking them. I don't know if you understand this. Some designs that you see, and you know that, oh, this person is actually breaking a particular rule, but because the person is aware of the fact that they are breaking a particular rule, right? A designer, probably space or hierarchy or something, because they are aware of what they are doing. They can basically tell you to your face that, oh, no, I know what I am doing. I can defend this particular thing that I am doing because, oh, this is my style, or this is my design philosophy, right? So develop opinions and be able to defend them. I always tell people when I'm mentoring them about design, always have a reason behind every single element of your design. If someone asks you, okay, why do you have this particular thing on your design? Always have a reason why this particular design decision. Don't just do things because you feel like. Yes, you can do things because you feel like, what? Have an opinion and be able to defend them. Let's move on to the next thing. And the last thing is problem framing. Judgments and taste operate inside the problem, right? And this still brings us back to building a product that people love, that people use, and that people care about, or that people trust. Yeah. So the first thing is, who are you designing for? Those are like things that you need to think of. Or you're designing a particular feature, or you're designing a particular product. These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Who am I designing this for? Who is this particular feature, or who is this product for? Whose problem is it? right? Specify this, write it down, because when you are clear on all of these things, you now start to um, bring the data together, and then you can now decide on, oh, this is like the most important thing, or this is the least important thing, right? So another thing you need to ask yourself is, what is the actual problem? Where's the pain point? What's the pain point? What issue are users facing at the moment? What's the problem that users are facing at the moment? What's the actual problem, right? And um, why does it matter to them, right? Why does this feature matter to them? Why are they demanding for this particular feature, or why are they demanding for this particular product, or why is there a demand for this product in this industry, right? You don't just want to um, go ahead or do things blindly. It's very important for you to know these reasons. Who are you designing for? What is the actual problem, and why does it actually matter? Let's move on to the care framework. The care framework is a framework for building AI products that people trust, love, and use. And the four qualities are context, assistance, reliability, and empowerment. It's not a process that you follow step by step, but it's a process that you should always have at the back of your mind when you're designing a product. A product that is frictionless, a product that users would seamlessly go from point A to point B without having issues, right? So the first thing is context. Context is very, very important, right? And I'm going to explain why context is very, very important. You need to ask yourself critical questions like, who is the user? What are they trying to achieve? What environment are they in? What emotional state are they in? And what happens if AI misunderstands them? Are you there? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes. I was talking about the context, right? Context basically means um, is really what is happening at this moment, right? Or what issue are they currently facing at this moment? Who is the user? What are they trying to achieve? Um, what problem are we trying to solve? What constraint do they currently have? What emotional state are they in? And what happens if AI misunderstands them? Let's move on to the next slide. Let me show you something regarding context. The next slide, please. Yes. So I don't know if you can see this particular image, right? It's an image of a designer. He's a designer, right? And then he decided to get a seat stand desk, right? And he's currently in Nigeria, and then obviously we sometimes have light issues. And probably when he was working, or when he was on his desk working, he decided to stand up, and there was light when he decided to stand up. And when probably like a few minutes later, they took light off, and then he could not bring instant me. In the mind of the people basically designing or that designed this stand text, they never thought about the fact that, oh, maybe there could be an issue of when they take light or when there's no power or something, right? They never thought about that. They never understood the context of being in Nigeria, or the context of, oh, um, there might actually not be light in this particular place or in this particular country. Do you understand me? So context really matters, right? And being able to put yourself in the shoes of users is very, very important. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move to the next slide, please. So this particular picture is I don't know if you guys can see it properly. It's the guy is in Tesla. He's in a Tesla, and the car is showing animals as, I don't know, I don't think if it can show properly. The guy is showing animals as a person, right? I'm very certain that, and obviously the cow is on the road, right? And I'm very certain that when they were designing this product, or when they were trying to design the product, they never thought about the fact that, like, could cars and cows be on the same road, right? Could cows actually walk on the same road as, right? Could they actually be on the main road? And as a result of this, you could see that the AI, or the model, or like the interface, is showing these cows as a person. Just and so it's very important for you to design with, with the right context, with the African context. If you are designing for the African market, or you are designing for the UK market, or for the US market, understand, what's the issue that they currently face. Understand their do I think it's called a political, economic, or environmental, social, legal, and those kind of things, right? Personality, do like a personal, and understand, what issues do they currently face? What issues do they face politically? What issues do they face economically? Socially, legally, and those kind of things. Do you understand me? So, for you to build that kind of product that users actually trust and have belief in, you need to understand or have good context regarding them. Let's move to the next slide, which is assistance. The next one. So the next out of the care model, or the care framework, is assistance. AI should actually amplify people and not replace them. It should give them the ability to do more, right? It should not totally replace them. It should involve them, right? You should ask questions like, how does AI make this easier? Instead of, how can I just add it here? I don't know. How does AI make this process easier, right? You should ask questions like, does AI reduce the efforts of doing something, right? Say I want to perform a particular task. Does AI actually make very, very easy? Say I want to prepare for an interview, or I want to prepare for a session that I'm going to be talking about. How can AI make this thing easier for me, right? Does AI increase confidence, right? Does AI remove unnecessary tasks? So if you're thinking about this, you're actually building trust. Definitely use the product, right? If you're reducing effort, people's effort in performing a task, or you're increasing their confidence, there's no how you increase someone's confidence and they will not keep on coming back to you, or they will not keep on referring your product to other people. So it's very important for you to ask these critical questions. Does it remove unnecessary work? Does it allow me to do, a task that is repetitive? I have to come back and do this and over and over and over and over and over again, right? Moving on. Reliability. Is this product, or is this thing reliable, right? Intelligence is useless if users don't trust it, right? You should ask yourself these critical questions. Can users verify the answer, right? Can users edit it? So say you are designing a particular, I'm trying to think of an example. You're designing a particular interface, and then you are asking for like an information, right? Give them the ability to edit it, right? Give them the ability to come back if it's not very, very confidential, or if it's not compliance related, right? Give them the ability to edit it. Give them the ability to come back and make changes to that particular thing, and that's like what basically gives them trust. Because I know that, I can actually come back to do this. I can actually, I know that this is not the final step, or I can basically come back and edit this thing. Can they undo an action, right? Can they recover from mistakes? Can they go back? Can they save a particular, say they are trying to complete a very, very long form, right? Can they come back to it and make sure that they meet it at a particular, at that same stage that they left it, and then their information is saved? For example, you're filling a particular form on Google Forms, or you're filling a form on Google Form, you know that when you come back to that form, you can always make sure that you can always reassure that your answers are still saved, right? Can they recover from mistakes? If they make a mistake, can they go back, right? Reliability includes consistent outputs, clear limitations, honest uncertainty, recovering from errors, verifiable answers. I don't know yet if some of us use Claude or use ChatGPT, right? When it gives you an answer or when it gives you like an output or like an information, it gives you this, oh, you can actually trust something like that. You can trust this particular model because you have access to, oh, this is where it got the answers from. This is like where it got the information from, right? So is the product reliable? Can I am I sure that the output is consistent? Am I sure that there's clear limitations, right? Is there a feedback mechanism? Can I give feedback and then make sure that my feedback is acted upon? A lot of AI models, you're sure that you can tell them what is wrong. Oh, no, this is particular wrong, and then immediately it will tell you that, oh, I overstepped. Let me retract back and then find more information. Do you understand? So when you're building in this AI period, have these things at the back of your mind. Can people recover from an action? Can they undo an action? Can they edit something? Can they verify an answer? Can you give feedback and then you take this feedback and then actually improve on the product? So the last one is called empowerment. Does AI basically make them better, right? Does AI empower them, to do better, right? The product should leave people stronger and not less of themselves. It should make them feel empowered. Let's move to the next slide, please. The goal isn't to make AI impressive. Is to make people more capable, right? It's to make people do more. It's to make people achieve more, right? You should ask yourself the following critical questions. After using this feature, is the user more capable or more dependent, right? Are they able to do more with this particular feature, or are they able to do less with this particular feature? It's not just to slap AI on a particular product for the day. Are they more capable? Are they are they are they more educated? Are they more empowered to do more? Right. So another recap. The first thing is context, having the right context, giving the right context, understanding the right context at which this particular user is facing the problem or has an issue. Right. The next is assistance. Right. Are we assisting the users enough? Right. After assistance is reliability. Can they rely on the information that they get from our product or that they get from our AI model or from whatever it is that we've designed or whatever product that we have, right? And the last one is empowerment. Do they feel empowered using your product, right? Do they leave being more knowledgeable or they left leaving more stupid? Which one? So, in conclusion, all right, in this AI era, trust is the interface, right? We need to design for trust first. Let's move to the next page, please. We need to design for trust first. When you design for trust, frictionless follows, and then love will be the reward. So, design for trust first. Understand the users first. When you design for trust first, you are rest assured that frictionless will follow, and then love will be the reward. Thank you so much, guys. I can take your questions now.
Thank you so much, Temitope. That was really, really insightful. It was. I was just glued to my screen the entire time. Um, The first question that someone dropped is, he said, if someone is designing their first product, where should they begin? The first question that someone dropped is, he said,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you said the question says that if someone is designing their first,
If someone is designing their first product, where should they begin?
you're designing your first product. I need one. You are a beginner, and then you just want to design the product for the first time, or you just want to design the product for the first time, right? Or
Yes.
right, that's the context. So obviously, it's
Yes.
research. I spoke about something called person analysis and competitive analysis, right? Competitive analysis means understanding who are the current players in this industry, or who are the people that also play in this industry, right? There's nothing that you want to do on this earth that is new, and there's always someone that has done something like that home and abroad, or that's done something like that, probably in a smaller scale or in a larger scale. So find out about them, right? Understand, what product do they have, what is their unique selling point, what makes them different, right? What makes them unique? You understand? Now also perform a person analysis on that industry or on that market, right? And now when you get all of this information, now also think about the idea that you're currently trying to build, and what makes that idea unique, and what would make that idea stand out, right? Because you don't want to design something that is similar to what your competitors have in the market, right? These people are ahead of you. They are they have way more money than you. They have more traction than you, right? So what are you bringing to the table that would make you stand out, right? Give for example, traditional banks and all of these other neo banks, all of these other um, banks. What traditional banks basically give you is, they give you trust. They give you um, not only trust, they give you stability, right? But the other thing that they don't give you is they're very, very slow, right? They're very, very slow to sometimes for them to make a change, or to make a change to the product. It takes a longer time. But all of these, other neobanks, Money Points, OPay, Kuda, and those kind of they're not as big as those other products, but they're very, very fast, right? So you need to understand all of these things. First off, like I said, your research, understand where you're currently operating, the market that you're currently operating, or the industry you're currently operating. Also do a competitive analysis. So do what product currently exists in the market that also do the same thing. Thankfully, you can do all of these things with the use of AI within minutes, right? Within 5-10 minutes, you already have all of this data collected, and you can just read through instead of you doing this research by yourself, right? So I think that's like the thing you need to do first before you start designing, right? It's not just about going to Figma immediately. It's about understanding the market and understanding where exactly it is, or what industry they are currently operating. Let me give an example. A, a, um, a personal experience example. Um, I was I worked for a company based in Australia, right? And the market is kind of different from the Nigerian market, right? The way they operate is different from the Nigerian market. I had to basically understand the Australian market before I started to design for them, right? The way they process things, from the way you said AUD to NGN, and then NGN to AUD, is different from even sending USD to um, what's it called, to Naira, or Australian dollars to Naira. They're two different ways. They're two different partners. For example, over here in Nigeria, we have other partners that would help you to, that's basically that's like a middleman, right? Over there in Australia is different, right? So you need to understand all of these things, and then understand, how do we design this particular flow, this particular feature, Just understand me. So I think that's what one thing you need to understand, the one thing you need to do.
All right, thank you for that answer, Temitope. I'm sure the person that asked the question is already feeling satisfied with the answer. So the second and last question we are going to be taking is from one of our fellows that just graduated from the Qubators AI Foundry. So the question is, for someone building their very first AI product with limited resources, there are so many tools, models, and frameworks available that it can feel overwhelming. What would you what would your recommended roadmap be for taking an idea from concept to a simple but valuable MVP without getting distracted by every new AI tool?
Yeah. So what I would basically say is choose a particular AI tool and focus on it. Right. One thing is that there will always be something like something new. I'm sure like there's always almost like a new AI model or AI feature every single day, right? Or like there's a change every single day. But if we don't focus on one, right, you get carried away doing different things, and then you won't be able to finish that particular thing that you're trying to do. So what I would advise you to do is choose one that you know that is is always going to be there. For example, your best bets, two best bets, Claude, OpenAI, right? Those two ones, you know that they will always be there. Codex and Cloud, you know that they will always be there. There's Anthropic, there's anti-gravity, and the other ones, right? But you know that these two are actually the ones competing at this current moment, or at this currently, that they're both at the forefront of AI models and those kind of things. Right? I know there's some of these chatting models, but choose the one that you know that, at least I'm safe if I know how to use this. Do you understand me? So just focus on one, and then make sure that you put out your work as fast as possible, because these models, like, there's always like a new model, or there's always something new. So put out your first work, right, and then start to refine it. Don't just um, don't be stuck in the tutorial stage, right, of watching tutorials continuously and then not putting anything out. Right, you now can tell who is watching. So put something out and then refine it as you move on, and then share people. Share your journey or share your experience. So I moved from this, or I designed this. After a week, I improved on it, so I did something and then made it better. Just and so don't just wait for the right time or the perfect time or for the perfect tool, right? Do something, work on something, post something, right? So that would be my answer to your question.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time to answer those questions. And I also want to say thank you once again, Temitope, for sharing your knowledge and experience with us today. So I am not saying this alone, but I'm saying this together with my colleagues and everyone at Cubators community. We sincerely appreciate you for taking the time to pour into our community this afternoon. And to everyone that joined us today, I want to say thank you for being part of another impactful sharing session. If you have more questions to ask, you can ask me, and I'm just going to direct them to Temitope and send you the answers right back at you. So if you enjoyed today's session, and if you're new here and you don't know about the Cubators Network, please follow Cubators Network on LinkedIn and join our community to stay updated on future events, on future opportunities and programs. And don't forget, if you're also looking to build to create real world solutions and also to create MVPs, don't forget that the applications for the Cubators AI Foundry Quad 2 is still open, and we need you to put out the word. We need you to engage. We need you to tell a friend that the Cubators AI Foundry Quad 2 is still open, and we would love to have you join us. Thank you once again for joining us today. Our next knowledge sharing session is going to be happening July 31st, 2026. Like I said, this is going to be a weekly engagement. Every week, we are going to be bringing experts to talk to us on various aspects that we need in our respective businesses, in our respective applications, in our respective careers. So until next time, I remain your one and only global community manager at Qubators, Oluwakemi Adeniro. So keep learning, keep building, and keep creating impact. God bless you and have a wonderful evening and day.
Somewhere right
Bye.
now, a Christian tech expert
Thank you,
or creator
Temitope.
is
Bye.
writing code or creating something that will change a life. A designer is building something the world hasn't seen. And across nations, a new generation of kingdom innovators is rising. Qubators is a global community of Christian builders, developers, designers, and creators, united by one mission, using technology to advance the kingdom. It's not just a network, it's a complete ecosystem, built to help you learn, connect, build, grow, and earn, all in one place. Through the AI Foundry and our knowledge sharing sessions, Qubators gives you practical hands-on training. Whether you're just starting out or sharpening skills you've used for years. Connect with builders and innovators across nations and industries. Trade ideas, find collaborators, build relationships that outlast any single project. Through build-a-thons and innovation challenges, ideas stop staying ideas. Teams ship real solutions to real problems. On the clock, under pressure, together. Q Mentorship pairs you with experienced builders who've walked the path before, guiding your career, your business, and your impact. Opportunity finds you. Freelance work, partnerships, and jobs, all within a community built on trust. Through our campus and church ambassadors, Qubators is reaching further, raising new innovators in cities and campuses around the world. And once a year, then it all comes together at the conferences held in various nations. Qubators Lagos Conference, Qubators London Conference, and many more. If you build with code, with design, with ideas, there's a place for you here. This is your community. This is your opportunity. This is your network.
Join the Qubators network now and take your place in shaping the future through tech.
Somewhere right now, a Christian tech expert or creator is writing code or creating something that will change a life. A designer is building something the world hasn't seen. And across nations, a new generation of kingdom innovators is rising. Qubators is a global community of Christian builders, developers, designers, and creators, united by one mission, using technology to advance the kingdom. It's not just a network, it's a complete ecosystem, built to help you learn, connect, build, grow, and earn, all in one place. Through the AI Foundry and our knowledge sharing sessions, Qubators gives you practical hands-on training